Hey lovelies. Okay, really quick, hopping on before the video starts. Just to remind you that I'm hosting a seed swap. We did one last summer, last June, and it was amazing. We had a lot of gardeners from all over the nation participate, and it was a great way to connect and just get some new varieties. A lot of the varieties growing in my garden currently are from that seed swap, things that I didn't want to commit to buying 200 of, but definitely wanted to give it a go, getting a little pack from a friendly gardener. So the video will be linked below. It's actually, I think the last video I posted, seed swap alert, and super easy to join. It's not a big deal. If you're intimidated, don't be. Just send me what you got and I'll send you like a beautiful buffet of seeds. Join the seed swap. It closes in, I think, a week and a half.
Hey friends, it's Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty. We are here today. It is, what day of the week? Friday. And it's been raining, which is awesome because I have the flower market tomorrow morning, and all my flowers get nice and full and plump and juicy for the market. So I went ahead and cut some in the rain this morning, and I have a lot more to do now while the kids nap. Let's see, we went to the zoo this morning and had to hide in the gorilla cave for a while because it was downpouring, but I got them all like worn out and down so that I can really focus on the market. I will say, like, the market, I love doing it. It is like a joy, a light in my life. And also the Friday before every market, I try and wake up really early to cut the flowers. My kids inevitably wake up, read nice, stay up late making bouquets. Like, it's just part of the process, as I lose a couple nights of good sleep trying to prepare. So today I'm playing catch up and trying to really get all the flowers harvested, and I just thought I would bring you along with me. Check out my hot husband in the back. He doesn't know he's on video. So this is my second to last farmer's market, the Rockwall Farmer's Market. And I will say the zinnias are starting to kind of peter out. So ideally, as a flower farmer, you're supposed to succession sow, which means that you plant seeds or put your starts in the ground at the beginning of spring, and then a few weeks later you sow some more seeds, so just that your crop stays fresh. I've noticed that like the leaves are starting to yellow and brown, and just the quality of flowers, I'm getting fewer like full, big, healthy looking heads per plant. So that's something for next year that I'm really going to work on, is kind of just my discipline in terms of succession sowing, to make sure that throughout the entire market season I have just like really healthy plants. I will say, like, after our last market 2 weeks ago, I did have a customer send me a picture of her bouquet 2 weeks out, and it looked like stellar, like almost the same as when she bought it. So I was really happy about that. Zinnias are known to have really good vase life, and so with that being the bulk of our bouquets, they really have been lasting a long time. Amaranth lasts a really long time in the vase. Gomphrena, I'm probably saying that wrong, but those little pom-pom things, those last a long time in the vase. So really everything that we grew, aside from cosmos, I put some cosmos in just a like trial bouquet for myself, and they really didn't last long at all. Have you guys had success with cosmos as a cut flower? Because mine were pretty wimpy. They lasted like 2 days and then looked all brown. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm gonna show you a couple things, what's happening here. It's cooled off like, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees, like instead of 110, it's like 100. But actually, like the cooler weather, like it being in the 90s, has like made all the difference in the garden. Everything is looking far more lush. After we've gotten 2 rains, it just looks like healthy, and the tomatoes are flowering again, and the morning glory is taking off. So I just feel like it's crazy how just a couple of degrees can make all the difference for your plants. So I'll start over here in my green stalk. I just wanted to show you guys yesterday, the strawberries set off what we call runners, and I'm trying to find a loose one to show you. Kind of like this. So there's the mother plant, and then it sends off a runner. And actually, if you put this runner in soil, it will root and create a new strawberry plant. And so I've been just wrapping them around, like this is a runner. Trying to see, I have a runner from this mother plant up here. And so what I did is I just got some little stakes that I had used for like chicken netting before, and just gently staked them in the ground. And this is actually going to start
rooting into the soil soon. And then from that one, I planted another runner. So I'm multiplying my strawberry plants for free. For free. It's the best kind of gardening right there. The green stalk has been an awesome addition to our backyard garden. I grew some carrots, and they did fairly well, shockingly, in the green stalk. They weren't like extremely long. They were probably about yay long, but they were healthy and tasted good. Right now we have herbs and strawberries mostly, and that's been working really well for us, just to not take up space in the garden bed with things that have more like shallow roots like strawberries. See how healthy this cherry tomato island is doing? Like, all this has happened just after a few degrees drop in the weather. This, I have no clue what it is, really. I went ahead and just hung it up there because it was like vining towards our back door, and it just kind of like was a little menacing, like it was coming for us. So it went from all the way from here all the way to the back door. And so I just hung it up there, but I actually think it's a loofah plant, and we've grown loofah before. It takes over, it is gnarly, and I actually did dry. See, here's kind of what the flowers look like. That's why I think it's not a squash. It is a, well, a loofah is a gourd, but not like a butternut squash or something. I thought it might be a Seminole pumpkin, but yeah, we've dried out the loofah, and I can show you those sometime. I still have them. And loofah is what you use for your skin. It's not a sea sponge. This here's all the gomphrena that I have to harvest, strawberry fields, and atomic purple. So I have a lot of that to clip. The zinnias I went through this morning and grabbed, although a few have already opened since just this morning. So I'll go ahead and snag those. But as you can see, like down here, it's just starting to yellow, and like some of the plants, like this one probably just needs to be pulled. They're just starting to peter out, which is okay. They have worked very hard this season, and I'm very grateful to you. So this is the newest garden bed that we've made, and anytime you're working with like a new garden bed, the expectations for things to just like explode is low in our minds, just because the soil has to really sit and marinate and get all that good juicy compost down in it. So okra has been something that's been really good for us with new garden beds. It grows fairly well, and it's low maintenance. So if you don't want to have a lot of maintenance, okra is the way to go, except that you have to harvest it almost like twice a day, because Reed will tell you the days I've skipped harvesting, we come out and the pods are like huge and inedible. They just get really tough. This one here has been a great producer this year. It's the Jing Orange, and we harvested most of it. Did you harvest this morning, the okra? Yeah, okay, so these are all little ones. They're not mature, but like tonight will come out and a lot of them will have grown. And they've kind of crossed with some of our other varieties here, but they still taste great. So Jing Orange, this is a Hill Country Red, and so it's kind of like a short and stubby variety that we enjoy as well. And then this is just like, I don't know if it's Clemson Spineless is what it's called, but it's just like a basic green okra, and it's a really good producer as well. I think I got that seed at like Tractor Supply. Okra is a great crop to grow if you have kids gardening, because you can harvest it so often. It's really hard to wait for a like butternut squash or a tomato to ripen, but okra is something you can harvest all the time. And also our kids, that's really like the one vegetable aside from lettuce that they eat is okra. Maybe because it's like in bacon grease and salt, which whatever, it's green, okay? Our kids eat green foods. Also with okra, mucilage, it's like the slimy part that a lot of people don't like about okra, is actually really good for digestion. So that's just an added bonus. Like if your kids have tummy issues, get them to eat some okra. This is my amaranth patch, and since it rained, looks like this bad boy got really heavy. I hope it didn't snap. Let's see. That's the Hopi red dye, and there is the Love Lies Bleeding. I'm probably gonna harvest like all of this for the market tomorrow, just because it's starting to look like, I don't know, not as fresh and fun and flirty as it was in the beginning. So I might just go ahead and take all this amaranth and use it in some big bouquets this week. And then for my final market, my final hurrah, just really round out with what we have left in the garden. All right, so we went to a restaurant supply, this was a few years ago, actually bought these like busboy tubs. What did we buy these for to grow baby greens, I think, on shelves. And that didn't really like manifest the way we wanted to, but we have used these suckers so much. I transport things to and from the market with them. And then also just because of like the rain and such, I've been harvesting the flowers in kind of a different way where I'll like cut a lot of them at once, throw them in a bucket, and then in batches strip the leaves and put them in the water. Stripping every single leaf as I went just kind of took a while, and that's okay, like if I have the time. But today, trying to fight the rain and just get it all done, that was working better for me. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is just harvest a whole bunch of amaranth and then strip it all at one time and put it in the water, and I think it's gonna be just fine, waiting on me for a few minutes while I get all of the brothers and sisters into the bus tub bucket. Isn't this stuff just the bee's knees? It's so fun. So herbs are a really great filler for bouquets. My brain froze. Okay, basil especially. So basil can come in so many different varieties and colors. I actually don't know what kind of basil this is. Maybe you guys could help me out, but it's like a variegated variety. Like, look at how stunning that is. If I can get my pointer right there. Look at how beautiful that is. So this is a basil. It tastes a little more like spicy, like licorice almost, but I just love that variegated look. It just adds so much interest, and these look really pretty with like the lighter pink colors. This here looks good with the jewel tone zinnias I have, but this is purple basil. And the cool thing about herbs is like they're easy to grow and pretty prolific. Like the mint has exploded over there. I also use mint as a filler, but experiment with different kinds of basils because yeah, they're kind of low maintenance and they just add so much variety to your arrangements. I have amaranth scattered in with our peppers. And I actually don't know why I did that. I think I could probably fool you and say, oh, it's a trap plant for pests so that they don't get our peppers, but I think I was just trying to squeeze it in. Anyways, the peppers are doing a lot better with the cooler temperatures. Again, I think we're like in the 90s, so it's not like it's breezy, but it makes a huge difference because they kind of just stopped producing. But as you can see, there's lots of flowers. This is a jalapeno right here. Same thing goes for our tomatillos. They really haven't produced much this year, but like as you can see, with just a little bit of, see all these little lanterns, those are all tomatillos growing like here. They're not quite ready yet. I know that they're ready when they start kind of the tomatillo, the fruit starts busting through the husk. But yeah, this thing's just exploding in tomatillos, which is exciting for green salsa. And I just think they're like so romantic looking. Little lanterns of green joy.
You love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited funding. Not must be welcome unlimited. Eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text,
So one of the other cool things, I'm about to harvest all like the basil and mint. One of the other cool things about using herbs in your bouquets is it just adds like this sensory experience. So like zinnias don't really have a strong smell, but when you add in the herbs and people come up to your bouquets, it's like they're hit with that fresh scent of either mint or basil, and it just like adds, yeah, kind of like some sensory fun and makes it more of an experience. Besides just looking beautiful, it also has a great smell. Okay, so here is the first bouquet we've made. I'm gonna set it apart. Isn't that beautiful? And all of these vases I got at a thrift store. So they're all different. They just have to have like a good color and a good shape for me. Like there's a lot that I say no to because they just are kind of like too basic, but all of these are gonna be just gorgeous. I'm really excited. And I have 17. Oh my gosh, Lily, I'm showing my flowers. So tomorrow I'm gonna show kind of like a time lapse of our setup and takedown, just so you can kind of get a feel for what it's like to actually participate in the market. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in the garden today. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds. And we'll see you soon.